Just going to do a quick update video on the bathtub wormery. As you can see, I'm using half of the top lid. It's a bit of polycarbonate conservatory roof. There's a little bit of grow space just as a kind of nursery for some small succulent sedum plants. I've taken off the other panel here, so there's a couple of old cotton pillowcases. You can see so there's some leachate draining out, which is nice. So it's nice to know that's all working. A little bit of cardboard on top, just for a bit of shade really. I've got some seedlings kind of trying to grow. I don't know what that was, a little potato. Something else. I had a stick, so I'm just going to stick just the root around and see what's happening with the worms. This is really quite nice now, this part of the allotment. It's a nice dappled shade under the trees. I've got a robin singing above. So you can see, what can we see on top? Any cocoons and some woodlice. Yeah, there's cocoons here, cocoons. Can you just see? It's kind of nice just to know. Lots of mould there, I think that's a residue of where there's some bread. Eggshells. What's going on here? Quite scary actually. There's more cocoons, which is a good sign. So the worms, by the looks of it, are going to be quite low down as a worm. I don't know what I'm using a stick, I just normally put my fingers straight in there. Yeah, let's go for it. There you go, that's more like it. Lots of little worms all zooming about. Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? More cocoons. Here's a mating, slightly interrupted. Coitus interruptus. Small cocoons. Yeah, so it's a nice little habitat. It's really good. I'm really impressed by this. I mean, this is fantastic. Look, there's, yeah, I've got a leachate drain. This is beautiful. Look, look at the size of these little bits. Yeah, I'm just so pleased with this. It's literally zero maintenance. All I've got to do is empty it. It's fantastic. All little happy worms. Happy as Larry. Let's have a little look. Right, chunky little, sturdy little worms. Yeah, and this is just in the top 6 inches. I'm not going to go too far down. I can see it's all nice. There's a bit of timber in there. It's not going to do much, but not doing any harm either. It's nice and, yeah, kind of moisture level's lovely. There's some really nice, I don't know what that is or what it was, but you can see there's quite a high density of worms in there as well. Oh, that's good. Really pleased. And some plastic, which isn't a problem. I'll just sift it through a little bit when I'm done. What's happening there? Is that a potato? Or what is it? Tomato? Look at the worms in that. Look at that. Loving it. Living it and loving it. I don't know what this is. This is some, I don't even know what that is. What is that? Does anyone identify those eggs? Kind of metallic blue colour. It's kind of charcoaly grey eggs. And let's have a little look down the sides. If anything, I would have thought the sides were going to be quite dry. But that seems to be fine. And my little drain's working a treat. What I think I'll do is I'll just hook that. Give me an idea of how much I'm going to get. Oh, that's good. So that's actually draining. I've just watered on top so the water's running through. Fantastic. And that was just the overflow pipe I've taken off. Popped it down into a bucket, so that's just running through. That's just the rainwater, well, the water from watering plants. Yeah, so I'm so pleased with this. Look at this. This is a little bit of crusty bread. It's got loads of mould on there, so the worms will love that. Yeah, look, there's the wood lice on the drier parts doing a good job. Yeah, so really good. Cardboard back on top, maintain a little bit of moisture. A couple of old cotton pillowcases which will eventually become worm castings. And then there's the panel on top. I think what I might just do concrete slab just to stop that blowing off. I might just put a couple more trays of plants on there because they look so nice. Brilliant. If you haven't seen this thing, there's a kind of long shot. What I've done, yeah, as I said before, there's trampoline fabric on top. Just a bit of galvanised garden wire through the D-rings, looped around the top, and a welded steel table frame. So it's no effort at all to make. All you've got to do is just fold down the car seat, pick up an old bath, acrylic bath would be fine. This is a steel bath, steel enamel bath, and I don't think I levelled it up, but obviously you can just see the hair from where watering it. There's a little bit of water just draining out the drain hole. I used an old hardwood ladder, which is about 50mm the rowels, the little treads just going across, because it was only about a foot wide, and I put a piece of old plywood on top, and that just adds a little bit of air space, so you've got airways underneath and you've got drainage going through. I'm just so pleased. In terms of volume, I think there's around about 250 kilos potential of castings from this. And because I'm using part composted material, all the heat's died off and now it's just a perfect habitat. I've got some sort of leopard slugs in there. Some of the lemony, greeny, yellow, limey green slugs, kind of composting slugs. Wood lice, which obviously eat any kind of wood. I'm using some wood chip in there just for aeration as well. That was quite well rotted, so I'm just using that just to add a little bit of airways in the castings, so it tries to avoid compaction. So I'm really happy with this bit. I mean, it looks gorgeous. Well, I think it looks gorgeous. I mean, this is nice. This is my kind of gardening. Look, come along. Little bit of self-sown grass in there. Put it out by the roots. I mean, this is like playing, isn't it, really? But the idea with I mean, I've got half the established plot, which is no dig. I'm working in so much organic matter and so much compost, so much worm castings. The soil is beautiful. I had an old tube I was kind of set in as this kind of just a post, and it literally pushed into the ground about 18 inches, which is quite remarkable, really. And it's been very dry, minimum amount of watering. I've got some cauliflowers that look beautiful. It just goes to show, once you've got the structure in the soil, when you water that just fills those little air spaces. It just holds onto that moisture, unlike clay where it literally just runs straight off down a hill. So I mean, this isn't unpleasant, is it really? A little bit of dappled shade, perfect conditions for the worms underneath. My friend Marco's really helped out massively, and big thanks to him. I mean, this is still a work in progress, but he's really helped tidy it up, and from a psychological point of view, it feels so much more positive being down here now. This bed still needs loads of digging over, although I've added so much timber here. I've raised the level by about 18 inches. Dug in so much old pallet wood, about 30 pallets or something crazy. Similar amount of Christmas trees went into the paths. Oh, this is feeling so much more positive. Well, you can just see what it's done. This was all the old kind of branches from the trees and the scrub which we've cleared. It's still manageable pieces that can just be used as biochar. It's going to burn an absolute treat. I've mulched this bit. There's no more membrane. There's the last little bit of membrane and here, which isn't so bad at all. It feels a lot more manageable. And there's a massive pile, like a load of fly tipping. We've just got a nice pile of usable floorboards, which would be a lid for another in-bed worm bed. I've got a galvanised water tank. I need to plug some holes. I'll get some blanking plates, and I just wanted that as a little watering can, sort of plunge tank. And there's a hose pipe that comes from the water tank from the corner of the other allotment plot. The apple trees are in blossom, looking really quite lovely. But I think this plot's so much more airy as well. The apple trees will do so much better. They've got so much more light. They're not surrounded by the other trees. I mean, there's still masses of work, but it's looking so much better. There's a little 6 foot by 4 foot greenhouse, which is, it's in bits now, but it's probably only about a couple of years old. It looks like new when I took it down. And the previous owner had concreted in the corner posts and infilled with gravel, with aggregate, and there wasn't even any soil in the aggregate. It looked like it had been done a couple of weeks ago, so it's literally never been used as a greenhouse. It's crazy. It's all tempered glass as well. Even though it's only 6 foot by 4, but it's going to be a beautiful space. And I'm kind of thinking maybe alpine house, loads of succulents and echiverias and crassulas and things. I just think it's going to be fantastic. But this is the worm bed. I can check the date on the previous video. I'll just lift the lids on here and have a little poke about. I'm literally as I haven't got a clue what I'm going to find when I open the top. There's some crazy amounts of mold. I've got some ants, which isn't necessarily a good sign. Got the dreaded bindweed. Bad news.